Well, hello. Welcome to a snowy, but actually rather warm, late February day here in beautiful but very white Nova Scotia. As you can see behind me there, we've had snow. We had snow last night, overnight, after having 12 degrees the day before. So in fact, I think it was up near 16 in some places around here. So rather warm. Then we get the snow, but it's actually quite warm and it's melting everywhere. I've been in hibernation. I apologise for my sort of going dark over the last couple of months, but I've not wanted to do the same old videos that I've done before, and I thought I'd have a bit of a rest, recharge my batteries, think about what I'm going to do for the season, etc. Been busy at work as well, so that's me. Been dark for the last few months, but that's fair enough. So I'm back thinking about the new season. I'm thinking about what I'm going to grow, and when I was doing my thinking, I was thinking of doing a video of either sort of top sort of 5 easiest veg to grow, give people some, new guys maybe coming new to gardening, new to the channel, thinking about what can I grow. I'm a bit intimidated by all the different sort of veg I can grow, what's easy to grow, but I'll do that in another video. The other one I was thinking of doing, and which I am going to do today, is what's the sort of best value crops you can grow. And that's all very well us, the multitude of different veg that you can grow, the fruit that you can grow, and a lot of people don't have a lot of space. I've got a lot of space, so that's good, but a lot of people don't have a lot of space. You've got to make good use of the ground that you have. So I thought I'd go through what I believe. Different people might have different views on that, and it'd be great to get your comments on what you think are the best sort of value veg that you grow, and we can get a debate going, and that can give other people inspiration from reading the comments as well as the video, hopefully. So without further ado, I'm going to start with number 6 is leafy greens. And by leafy greens I mean things like kale, etc. That sort of leafy green that you get. And a good thing about kale and all those different leafy greens is they don't mind it a little bit cold. So you can grow them early in the season. You can get them growing in the greenhouse. My door is opening there. Early in the greenhouse and for an early crop to get going, or you can grow them outside early or late in the season, and you just sort of pick the leaves off, not just once but multiple times, and you get quite a long season out of leafy greens, spinach, etc., things like that, and you can keep picking off and getting some more, and obviously they're very nutritious, really good for your sort of stuff. So I was debating whether to put them in there, but they are very useful at both ends of the season when a lot of other veg doesn't particularly like it, and you get multiple crops out of them if you look after them. So they've got quite a long season, and like I said, they're very nutritious. And I love, my boy has gone from not liking any veg at all to absolutely devouring spinach, raw spinach, all the time, every single meal he has. So this season I'll be growing lots of spinach to sort of keep him happy and keep the old grocery bill down. So that's number 6. Number 5. Now we're really into sort of a summer veg here. Courgettes, zucchini, summer squash, whatever you want to call it. Let's have a look at some of the good things about courgettes. I wrote them down so I could remember them all. Right, number 1, heavy croppers. They are infamous, not famous, infamous for their heavy cropping. Many is a time you end up going round to your neighbours and offering out courgettes because you've got so many. If you keep them watered, and that's the main thing, keep them nice and damp and watered and well fed, they will keep cropping and cropping, and in the end your neighbours won't answer the door because they're fed up with getting courgettes off you. and they're great in the kitchen. I use them in, you can use them in cakes, in a bread, make a courgette bread, lots of different casserole dishes. Just a really good, useful vegetable, and like I said, heavy cropper. So that is that's why it gets into my sort of best value top 6, because of the fact that they are, you can use them in lots of different dishes, and they're really heavy croppers. And I like these last couple of years have been growing the yellow ones as well. So the secret is not to let them get too big as well. If you let them get too big, marrows, then they lose all of their taste. They're all water. So pick them nice and small, and then keep picking them, and they will flower and flower. Keep them watered, and they'll be a really good value vegetable for you. And really easy to grow, really, as long as you get it nice and warm. So number 5, where's my number 5? Let's have a look. What have I got number 5? Oh, that was number 5, courgettes. Now, peas, number 4, peas. Peas are an absolutely fantastic crop. You get them, they're really easy to grow, and you're often using more of a vertical, because they grow up tall, than the sort of horizontal with them. One plant can give you loads of peas. So again, if you look after them, they're really heavy croppers, and you can eat them raw in lots of different dishes. You can freeze them. So that's a really good vegetable to have. And again, they're quite early in the season, aren't they? So when everything else is getting itself going, the peas are up, and you get them in the ground, just as the sort of frosts finish, and they're up as soon as there's a little bit of warmth, and you've got lots of nice fresh peas, or beautiful fresh peas early in the season. And again, picking them when they're nice and small, absolutely beautifully sweet. There's nothing better, is there, than picking peas off the vine, popping that pod in, and a beautiful sweet pea on a summer's day. So there we are. Top 3 now. Top 3. Now, this one is actually, I don't know whether this is one of my favourite veg of all. An Englishman's sort of favourite veg. I'm always going on about it. Runner beans, scarlet runner beans. Actually, any of your different climbing beans are, a really good value crop. But to me, the runner beans, obviously, you can use the vertical. So if you can see, I've got a nice archway there, and I'm only using the edge of the bed, so using the vertical space, and I can use the rest of the bed for other plants. So they're growing up nice, really heavy croppers. Runner beans, if you keep them nice and well watered, they will start cropping from sort of mid-July all the way until the first frost. And again, loads and loads of beans, absolutely delicious. I've got, I think it might be up there, a nice warm 3-bean salad, absolutely delicious. You can't beat it. Again, with a nice glass of white wine on a warm summer's evening, sitting out on the deck, eating that with the rest of your sort of fresh veg that you've got in. But like I said, vertical space, really heavy croppers, and absolutely beautiful red flowers. That may be overlooked, but to me they're absolutely lovely, and they bring lots of the pollinators in. And the other bonus with the red flowers is that over here in Nova Scotia, or and around these areas, hummingbirds absolutely love them. And there's nothing like sitting on the side looking at early morning when I get out, have a cup of tea and look at the veg, and in comes a hummingbird discontentedly twittering away because he sees me, but there he or she, straight into the hummingbirds, absolutely loving them. So that is my number 3. Number 2. Now, I'm probably going to get a bit of a row on this one between number 2 and number 1, but that's what debate's all about. Number 2 to me, tomatoes. Not always the easiest thing to grow, and they can suffer from, in the UK especially, blight and all sorts of different things, tomato hornworms getting at them, squirrels, etc. But the tomato is an absolutely fantastic, really good value plant to me, because whether we're talking about cherry tomatoes or a nice big fat beef eater tomato, there's a tomato for every different occasion, all the different dishes you can use. And a wonderful plant. And then, you know, when you get into the end of the season, you can can them, you can make all the different sauces with them, and take those sauces out, whether you can them or freeze them, those different sauces out in that, you know, middle of midwinter on a horrible day, and there's that taste of summer, beautiful bit of flavour in your different dishes. So I love tomatoes, and you can normally get lots of, you know, good heavy croppers now, and lots of disease resistant types of tomatoes. So that to me is one of your best value vegetables, fruits actually, but an absolutely wonderful plant. And number one to me, right, this, I know this is going to get a bit of debate here, asparagus. Asparagus, you say? That's not very valuable. The best value? Well, it is. To me, it is. Long, hard winter here in Nova Scotia, and one of the first plants that you'll get, you know, together with some lettuce, is the little soldiers, asparagus soldiers, popping their heads up really early in the season. And that to me is that sort of lifts my heart. And then they get that snap of the asparagus, and there is absolutely nothing like just a beautifully fresh asparagus. Wonderful taste, whether you roast it with some olive oil and garlic, or you poach it, etc., or just stick it on the barbecue for a quick over and over. Just that absolutely wonderful taste of fresh asparagus. You can't beat it early in the season. And the other main thing why it's so valuable, it's perennial. I'll stick it in the ground, and that's it now. 25 years, I've got increasing yields every single year. You've got that investment of a couple of years where you can't touch it, but after that, every single year it just comes back. I don't have to do anything. I'll put a bit of fertiliser, you know, a bit of seaweed on there, something like that. Make sure it's weeded throughout the summer, but really and truly, don't have to do anything else. It's a really easy plant to grow in my books. So asparagus. Oh, and also when you let the rest, you know, it has good 6 week season. Once it's had its 6 week season, you let the rest of the spears grow into proper plants. It also provides a really good dappled shade for things like lettuce, all the different lettuces and mustards, etc., that don't particularly like it hot and lots of sunlight. It provides a nice little bit of dappled shade there. And if you grow a little bit of basil in there as well, that sort of sees off the old asparagus beetle. Don't particularly like that. So the fronds provide a nice little bit of shade for the lettuce, so that provides that, you know, a lot of people think, well, that's it, you've got your 6 week season, spear's gone out the window, and you can't use it for the rest of the season. But yes, you can use the shade to grow some lettuces and things like that who like a bit of not as hot in the summer. So there we go. That's my 6 best value fruit and veg that I feel, anyway, best value you can have in the garden. Started off, what did we start off with? Leafy greens. Well, you know, kale is really easy to grow, really nutritious, etc. Lovely and tasty. Courgettes, just a really good heavy cropper, very versatile. Peas, love those peas, nice and fresh early in the season. Lots of crop for, you know, a small amount of plants. Beans, well, I just absolutely love run of beans, and again, long heavy crop, and you can freeze them over winter, etc. Tomatoes, goes without saying, tomatoes are fantastic. And like I said, asparagus to me is a very important vegetable. Early in the season, that first veg popping themselves up, beautifully tasty, and provides a bit of a shade for other plants in the summer. Well, let me know in the comments what you think your best value veg fruit is, and we can have a little talk about it, and we can give some other people inspiration. So there we go, a new season. Hopefully I'll be getting some videos out now, getting some planting going. I'm going to be putting, it's late in sort of February, so I'm going to be putting some chilies in, sowing some chilies because they need a long season here. But that's really it at the moment. Anyway, job's a good one.